Alrighty. Good evening, all. Good evening and welcome. What's going on? It's Sunday. How was your weekend? So let me just check, is anyone already in chat? Let's type test 1. Okay, as usual, YouTube has no idea how many people are in chat. It's just like a dash instead of a number, which is fine. Okie dokie. So, if YouTube is fooling around with me, type something in chat so that I know that someone is actually watching, so that I'm not talking to myself. And in case I'm talking to myself, I might as well drink something. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, Mark Carpenter, audio seems low. Audio really should not be low, to be honest, because let me show you why I think that. Although my camera seems to be broken. Dev says hi. Hello back to you as well. Okay, can you... You can't. Okay. Can you see the VU meter that says microphone here? So when it's in yellow, it's usually fine, right? It shouldn't go into the red, and it shouldn't go into the green, because that's where it should be, right? I can take it a little bit closer to make it stronger a little bit, but that should be fine in my opinion. I don't think that it should be louder than it already is, because when it starts to go into the red, it will start sounding distorted a little bit, right? Maybe not in the red, but when it reaches 0, it will be pretty distorted, right? So let me just get that back on my main screen so it doesn't bother you too much. Could be your SG speakers. Could be audio is low here too. Dell says that as well. Okay, that is concerning a little bit. Let me just check my camera first. Camera seems to be working fine. I can increase the volume, but I'm a bit puzzled. Why is it that you are having a decreased volume? That doesn't make too much sense, because I haven't changed any settings since the last time, or for that matter since yesterday, because yesterday I have had 5.5 hours stream and nobody was complaining. So let me say what I'm going to do. I'm going to increase the volume on the microphone amplifier, which to my knowledge should put the microphone into a state where it will sound stronger but bad. Okay, so let me give me a hint. How does it sound now? I have increased the microphone volume quite a lot, and judging by my VU meter, this should be clipping by now. Vladimir Misha, 1 2 1 2. Okay. Hello all. Hello back to you as well, Vladimir. So what's the volume like now, right? Is it clipping, or is it just about right now? Because I have really increased the amplifier quite a lot. So this shouldn't be needed unless my microphone is broken or something. Give me a hint back regarding what it sounds now. Better now, or now it's clipping for sure. I have seen it go into the 0, which is not good. Talk back to me. I need feedback, otherwise I can't fix it for you. I could reboot. I haven't rebooted in a couple of days. Who knows what I changed without being aware of it. It's okay now. Okay, but do give me... So all three of you have had it lower? That's quite weird. That's quite weird. But okay, if you're happy, then who am I to say anything about that, right? If my voice starts clipping, and by clipping I mean sound distorted, let me know so I can tune it just a little bit more. Vladimir says volume is okay for me. Look, I don't really care how high up you have it, but when three different persons tell me that volume is too low, then something is definitely going on, right? So, you know, Mark Carpenter says it's okay. As a ham radio operator, you could lower the bass a bit to give more vocal tones. If I would know how to do that, I mean, I can apply some filters. Let's see if I can do this quickly. Low tones. Okay. I have removed like 5 decibels from low tones now. Do you think it sounds better now? Because I have no clue. I don't have any feedback. If I would check this, I would need to stop the stream and go into the test modes and put the headphones on and say something and hear myself say it back to myself. You know, I can't do that on stream, but I did take roughly 5 decibels off of the low frequencies with a 3-band equalizer. This one is pretty easy to use, right? Just 3 sliders. So let me know what it sounds like now. Mark is asking, did it stop clipping after that? After what? After what? And what does K6 ORJ means? Don't worry, DJ Ware just did a half an hour live while muted. You mean live while muted, and he also checked audio before the stream. I actually didn't check anything, to be honest. Yesterday I have presented Nitrux Linux live on stream, and the main developer for Nitrux Linux was in chat with us, and unfortunately for me, the whole stream was way too interesting to stop it prematurely, so it took us roughly 5.5 hours in one go to cover everything that seemed to be interesting about that operating system, right? So I have literally been sitting here in one position for 5.5 hours and literally talking for 5.5 hours, and I was pretty dead after that. But from the technical standpoint, I haven't touched my PC since last night. So basically I have stopped the stream and locked my screen, went to bed, and the entire day I worked something on my laptop, and I came back to my PC as it was last night. I haven't touched it at all since the stream last night. So, you know, needing to increase the volume since last night up until now seems a bit odd. But it is what it is, right? Good stuff that I can fix it live without rebooting, because having an amplifier is actually... you know, the thing about this microphone is that it really needs a lot of juice, like really a lot of juice. And I have Audient Evo 4. I don't know if you can see it here. I better don't touch it because the cable will probably disconnect because it's short. But our Audient amplifier is just about roughly enough for this mic to power it, but only if I'm really close to it. If I talk from here, it cannot pick me up properly. So I had to buy the what's it called? The I forgot the name. Fathead. Okay, just a Fathead. This basically takes the 48 volts from the XLR input and feeds like a clean 27 decibels of preamp to the line before it goes back to the amplifier, right? And what's troubling me right now is that with this Fathead here, I usually would use my Evo 4 Audient roughly at 50% volume, right? 50% boost to the mic, or whatever you call it. But now it's like at, let me check where it's at. Now it's at 80%. So that's kind of odd, and I'm not sure what I did to deserve to be to sound so low. But I will check it out later on. Del says compression normalization issue. I can compensate and it sounds okay now. Audio on computers is multiple adjustments in series, any one of which drops the volume. My ham call sign, bass tones really will drive the clipping sometimes. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's not clipping anymore, but actually you're right. It's not even heading towards zero anymore. It's like it stays like at roughly -5 on average, even lower, -6 or 7. I'm trying to figure out where is the average, right? Unfortunately, if not on a desktop, sometimes it's hard to increase YouTube video, but we can always decrease it. Good program yesterday. YouTube audio, I meant audio sounds better now. Unga Bunga, great the Devorator. You don't stroke it like that. You mean the beard? I always do that. I can't help it. I don't want it to go. I don't want this to happen, right? So I try to keep it as straight as possible. Okay, so good. If you are not into Nitrux Linux, which was the topic for yesterday, and also welcome in all 9 of you. I can see number 9 showing up for me, so good evening and welcome. Let me know when you're ready. I'll try not to stroke the beard too much, and we can go ahead with managing the shared libraries, right? Let me know in chat when you're ready. Coffee still too hot. And now the mic clipped. You guys and girls ready? One message will be enough. Good to go. Nothing gave me trouble like fighting LDD. Okay. Yeah, the weight of this lesson is 1, so we should be we should run over this one like a tank. Good. Managing shared libraries, identifying shared libraries. Yes, and look at the bell tone curve for voice audio adjustment. Let me just check it one more time with filters. Okay, let me see if I can move this here. Okay, so this is what I have. For those of you who understand audio, so I have noise gate. If you know what noise gate is, then I don't need to explain it. If you don't know what noise gate is, then I will not explain it because it's too complex. But basically, the close threshold is at mine. Well, I have set it to what seems to be reasonable, but I did change it a couple of times. Then I have automatic noise suppression, which doesn't quite work perfectly, but it's better than being off because this mic catches quite a lot of stuff, no matter that it is dynamic. If I would have a condenser microphone, it would be even worse than the equalizer, right? So all three frequencies are slightly like highs are a little bit amplified, and the mids and lows are a little bit lower, right? So maybe I can play with this a little bit more, but I won't do it right now. It will take too much time. I have a little bit of gain applied here, so that's even more surprising that I have to put more gain on my hardware preamp, and a little bit of limiter so that it shouldn't clip, but I don't think that this would protect it from clipping, right? And what I have here, I can do compressor, which I have no clue how to use, but generally I know what this should be doing, but it's really hard to adjust. Expander is a bit beyond my understanding. Polarity as well, no clue what that is. And plugins, whatever, yeah. Dale Anderson says, just had a nasty audio glitch. Well, maybe I can put the limiter to like -1. Let's see if this can help. La. Maybe this should stop the glitches. I mean, it shouldn't go to 0 right anymore. The thing is, I have increased the amplifier quite a lot, more than I have ever done before. So this is like uncharted territory for me now. You said it's too low. It might be too high now, you know. Now it needs like fine tuning so that I cannot hurt your ears. That is over modulating when you said la la. Yeah, because I intentionally went very close to the microphone to force it into overdrive, right? I don't know what to do. I could. You had it before. Belltone Wikipedia. Are you guys telling me that I should be tuning my mic now, or should we go along with the lesson, or is the audio too bad so that we cannot continue before fixing the mic, right? What is it? Actually, I think I can. I think I can hear myself through the loop back. You said it's fine. Let me just check. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Okay, I can hear the problem. Yeah, this is not bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. Now this is relatively good. This is relatively good. Good. And it starts clipping here. I mean, not clipping, but I can hear the problem. Oh well, okay. So when I speak louder, I can hear the problem. I can actually hear the problem. I don't know what to do about this in a quick way. Let me just quickly fix it, if I can. Okay, let's decrease the artificial gain. Mark Carpenter, give me just a second. I have taken off 3 decibels from the software gain. La 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 la. Okay, let's put it to 0. So we have 0 software gain. La 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 la. Okay, so it's still not good. Noise gate, noise suppression, 3 band equalizer. Let's put the highs on 0. Let's not boost anything, and lower mids a little bit more, and lower lows a little bit more. La 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 la. Okay, not good. Let me check something. I'm going to unplug my Audient and plug it back in, and hopefully this won't kill the stream. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. What does this sound like now? No. Okay, this is a bit silly, and I don't know what's going on. La 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 la. La 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 la. Is this any better than before, or is it still a bit? I know what the camera is doing. Let me restart the camera as well. Was the camera black for a moment, or did I unplug the wrong thing? Yeah, I know it went out of focus. I don't know what is it with my equipment today. Maybe I should have rebooted the computer before starting the stream. And that's what I'm going to do, next time. I think if I unplug the right cable for the camera, then the camera should be fine now. Regarding the sound, I can hear it's still not quite right, but I think you should be able to properly hear me, right? Maybe I can increase the volume. No, I can't do that. When you cut the bass, you were able to drive the midtones more. All good now, in focus and all. Yeah, the camera is not that much of a big deal. Anyways, but the audio, I don't know what to do with it right now. I have... If you're fine with this, we can start. We can finally start after who knows how many minutes. How long was? Oh, 25 minutes, right? Okay. Good stuff. Let's go. Those who will be watching video on demand will be furious at these 25 minutes, but I'm gonna put the marker as a pinned reply so that people know that they need to rewind to 26 minutes. Okay, identify shared libraries, identify the typical locations of system libraries, load shared libraries. Okay, good stuff, easy stuff. Introduction. In this lesson, we will be discussing shared libraries, also known as shared objects, pieces of compiled, reusable code like functions or classes that are recurrently used by various programs. Flatpak. Slaps. To start with, we will explain what shared libraries are, how to identify them, and where they are found. Next, we will go into how to configure their storage locations. Finally, we will show how to search for the shared libraries on which a particular program depends. Concept of shared libraries. Similar to their physical counterparts, software libraries are collections of code that are intended to be used by many different programs. Just as physical libraries keep books and other resources to be used by many different people. To build an executable file from a program's source code, two important steps are necessary. First, the computer turns the source code into machine code that is stored in a so-called object files. Secondly, the linker combines the object files and links them to libraries in order to generate the final executable file. This linking can be done statically or dynamically. Depending on which method we go for, we will be talking about static libraries, or in case of a dynamic linking, about shared libraries. Let us explain their differences. Static libraries. A static library is merged with the program at link time. A copy of the library code is embedded into the program and becomes part of it. Thus, the program has no dependencies on the library at runtime because the program already contains the library's code. Having no dependencies can be seen as an advantage since you do not have to worry about making sure the used libraries are always available. On the downside, statically linked programs are heavier. Shared or dynamic libraries. In the case of shared libraries, the linker simply takes care that the program references the libraries correctly. The linker does, however, not copy any library code into the program file. At runtime, though, the shared library must be available to satisfy the program's dependencies. Do you guys actually see what I'm reading on screen? Yeah, Alexei says it looks like the screen is frozen. I just noticed this. You could have told me sooner. So many problems today. Yeah, I know. Well, at least you heard what I said so far. Give me just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I had to restart OBS one more time. because apparently unplugging USB devices, which OBS uses during streaming, is not a good idea. I believe that you see what you should be seeing. Let me just refresh YouTube because it seems to gone crazy. Alrighty, all good now? I can move the screen up and down. Let me know if it's not good, but I think it is. Okay, one more time. In the case of shared libraries, the linker simply takes care that the program references libraries correctly. The linker does, however, not copy any library code into the program file. At runtime, though, the shared library must be available to satisfy the program's dependencies. This is an economical approach to managing system resources as it helps reduce the size of a program files and only one copy of the library is loaded in memory, even when it is used by multiple programs. Just demonstrating UDEV limitations recognizing new devices. Not sure if this is that kind of a problem. This could be an issue with OBS. With OBS, not quite. Actually, I use Flatpak OBS. I'm gonna try to switch back to the native OBS next time. I have some benefits of using the Flatpak version, but if this is a downside, then I don't want those benefits that I got from Flatpak. Shared object file naming conventions. The name of a shared library, also known as soname, follows a pattern which is made up of 3 elements. Library name, normally prefixed by lib, SO, which stands for shared object, and then the version number of the library. So an example, libpthread SO0. By contrast, static library names end in .a. Example, libpthread.a. Because the files containing shared libraries must be available when the program is executed, most Linux systems contain shared libraries. Since static libraries are only required in a dedicated file when a program is linked, they might not be present on an end-user system. Glibc, GNU C library, is a good example of a shared library. On a Debian GNU/Linux 9.9. Okay, so we have the LPIC1 document version from this year, right? Literally from last month. And they're talking about Debian 9.9 system. Its file is named libc.so.6. Such rather general file names are normally symbolic links that point to the actual file containing a library, whose name contains the exact version number. In case of a glibc, this symbolic link looks like this. So the standard stuff for symbolic link, and the file is in lib x86-64 Linux GNU and libc so6, which points to libc 2.24. Okie dokie. The pattern of referencing shared library files named by a specific version by more general file names is common practice. Other examples of shared libraries include a libreadline, which allows users to edit command lines as they are typed in and includes support for both Emacs and VI editing modes. libcrypt, which contains functions related to encryption, hashing, and encoding, or libcurl, which is a multi-protocol file transfer library. Common locations for shared libraries in a Linux system are /lib, /lib32, /lib64, userlib, user locallib. The concept of shared libraries is not exclusive to Linux. In Windows, for example, they are called DLLs, which stands for Dynamic Linked Libraries. Configuration of shared library paths. The references contained in dynamically linked programs are resolved by the dynamic linker ld.so or ld.linux.so when the program is run. The dynamic linker searches for libraries in a number of directories. These directories are specified by the library path. The library path is configured in the /etc directory, namely in the file etc ld.so.conf, and more common nowadays in files residing in the directory etc/ld.so.conf.d. Normally, the former includes just a single include line for the all of the conf files in the latter, so in this folder. So as an example, they're showing us how it is done in the etc/ld.so.conf as a normal thing, right? And as demonstrated exactly as it is on my machine as well. So in the ld.so.conf.d, they say we have libs.conf and the x86-64 Linux GNU conf. Maybe we can check that as well. Rather similar scenario, but not exactly the same. These .conf files must include the absolute paths to the shared library directories. So in this example, it says multi-arch support and 2 folders are named, right? So let's cut one of them. And it says user lib32. And in case of AMD stuff, we can check that as well. So it says it's in opt folder. This is relatively standard for, to the best of my understanding, when some non-distribution related stuff is being installed. Like if you install something manually, it usually sits in opt folder, although I did install this through Arch packages, but I think maybe being I don't know why is this in opt folder, but I suppose Arch people know why they put it there. It's not a part of standard installation anyway. The ld-config command takes care of reading these config files, creating the aforementioned set of symbolic links that help to locate the individual libraries, and finally of updating the cache file in etc/ld.so cache. Thus, ld-config must be run every time configuration files are added or updated. Useful options for ld-config are like -v for verbose. Display the library, is it verbose or version? Display the library version numbers, the name of each directory, and the links that are created. So as an example. So we can see, for example, how libfuse so2 is linked to the actual shared object file libfuse.so and the version number, right? -p for print cache prints the lists of directories and candidate libraries stored in the current cache. So ldconfig-p, it says 1000 libraries found in the cache, and it lists where. Let's try ldconfig/p. Okay, so in my case it prints out quite a lot of something. I'm going back to the beginning, if there is such thing as a beginning. I'm still scrolling. And I cannot reach the top. Let's try one more time. Okay, so it has 5000 libraries found in cache, and then it lists all of them, right? Didn't fit the default Kitty buffer. Note how the cache uses the fully qualified soname of the links. Okay, so soname of the links. If we long list libfuse so2, we will find the reference to the actual shared object file libfuse so and the version number, which is stored in the same directory. Long list, right? I have never actually used this term. I mean, I have used this command like a million times, but never knew they call it a long list. Since it requires write access to LD-SO cache, you must either be root or use sudo to invoke ldconfig. For more information about ldconfig switches, refer to its manual page. In addition to the configuration files described above, the LD library path environment variable can be used to add new paths for shared libraries temporarily. It is made up of a colon-separated set of directories where libraries are looked up. To add, for example, usr local mylib to the library path in the current shell session, you could type ld library path equals usr local mylib. Now you can check its value, echo, and it will tell you that it is, well, what you have added, right? To add usr local mylib to the library path in the current shell session and have it exported to all child processes spawned from that shell, you would type export ld library path equals the path, right? To remove the ld library path environment variable, just type unset and the ld library path. To make the changes permanent, you can write the line export ld library path equals user local mylib in one of bash's initialization scripts, such as bash, oh, this is for everyone, right? Or your private bash rc file. ld library path is to shared libraries, what path is to executables. For more information about environment variables and shell configuration, refer to the respective lessons. Searching for dependencies of a particular executable. To look up the shared libraries required by a specific program, use the ldd command followed by absolute path to the program. The output shows the path of a shared library file as well as the hexadecimal memory address at which is loaded. So LDD command and the executable that we want to check. So this is one of the most common commands that you are probably going to stumble upon. Let's say it that way in your Linux usage, right? So when you have an executable which doesn't run, it doesn't work, then with this command you can check if any of the dynamically linked libraries are missing, right? So in this list you can check which ones are present and which ones are not on the system. So you can when you download something from the internet, any pre-compiled binary, you can check why it's not a probable reason why it's not starting, and then you can fetch this library via your package repository of your distribution. Usually that's the way you go, right? Likewise, we use LDD to search for the dependencies of a shared object. LDD lib x86 libs so6. With the -u or unused option, LDD prints the unused direct dependencies if they exist. Okay, so when you do that on the Git executable, it says unused direct dependencies are these. The reason for unused dependencies is related to the options used by the linker when building the binary. Although the program does not need an unused library, it was still linked and labeled as needed in the information about the object file. You can investigate this by using commands such as readelf or object dump, which you will soon use in the explorational exercise. We already done? Damn. Okay. Let's go with exercises. Divide the following shared library names into their parts. Okay, so we have complete file name. Sorry for touching the beard, wasn't intentional. Okay, it says divide the following shared library names into their parts. So what this wants us to do, well, nothing specifically, right? Library name is this. I'm not sure what do they want us to do here. Just put the first part into the first column, put the second part here, and put the number in the end, right? I don't see what else would they want here. Is it safe to discuss Flatpak and Snap and how they relate to this topic? For those of us not familiar with the specifics, I assume both are statically linked. It is safe, but let's go through these exercises first, just so we can put the check mark on lesson completed, right? And then we can talk about everything, or have an agreement on how to proceed. You have developed a piece of software and want to add a new shared library directory to your system. Opt lib mylib. You write its absolute path in a file called mylib.conf. In what directory should you put this file? Okay, let's go chat. In what directory do we put mylib.conf, which contains the path to my shared library directory? Where does this go? it's not like we went through a lot of stuff in the past 25 minutes. Go on, chat. Dale Anderson. Mark Carpenter. What's the folder where the mylib.conf would go? A file that contains... Surely you can read what the question is asking. Cannot be easier than it is. Yes, Dale Anderson is very much correct. What command should you run to make the changes fully effective? With which command do we make these changes fully into effect? We can't just put that file there and expect magic to happen. The command that we need to... Are you guys sleeping today? Just checking. There is less of you today and you're slightly slower, or is that a result of being fewer of you in chat? So less voices equals less noise in chat. I think you're sleeping. What's the command to put this into full effect? ldconfig, but it's not that big of a deal. When you type the command, you will know what the but means once you type it, but I mean, that's the correct command, yes, but but you need to be root or use the sudo powers. Anyways, what command would you use to list the shared libraries required by the kill executable? What command would you use to list the shared libraries required by kill? I have lag. I'm the one who has lag. Oh crap. Oh crap. Yeah, I know I have lag. Now I see why. It is set to normal latency. And I bet you can turn on the captions as well. No, it's my problem. It's problem on my settings, but unfortunately the only way to disable latency is to end the stream and start a new one. I have had the same problem last night and I didn't notice the settings on YouTube has changed. Unfortunately, I can't change this. But we can end this lesson and restart. Yeah, the conversation is going to be a little bit more problematic. Okay, I'll do my best to what is the word in English, to accommodate for this lag by pretending that you have given an answer, and then we'll see how to handle this further, right? So what command would you use to list the shared libraries required by kill? So basically it's LDD command. LDD command lists the required shared libraries by any binary, right? Explorational exercises. Object dump is a command line utility that displays information from object files. Check if it is installed in your system with which object dump? If it is not, please install it. We will deal with it. Okay. Just so you know, when I said we will deal with it, that's the exact moment when you typed it. So you can get a rough idea on how big the lag is. Because I have read your message almost immediately. Okay, object dump. Let's see if we have object dump installed here. We do. So what we could do, maybe we could switch. This is less than ideal, I suppose. Okay, let's put it. I have reduced the font size of PDF by putting the command line next to it, but maybe you can handle it just shortly. Object dump is a command line utility that displays information from object files. Check if it is installed in your system and use object dump with the -p open option and grep to print dependencies of glibs. Okay. Can we do it with glibs just like that, or should we use object dump with -p to option to print soname of glibs? Let's see how we are going to do that. No such file. Okay, so glibs is located. So if it's not executable, we cannot search for it with which. So lib, actually let's do it like this. ls minus blah lib grep glibs. So it's not there. Not there. How do we search for the for where glibs would be? Because let's go ahead and check the folder one more time. It's ldssoconf.d/lib 32 glibs-conf user lib32 user lib32, not there either. Okay. No. I actually don't know where glibs is, which is what it is, right? Let's see what the lesson told us. Maybe I have missed it. Maybe it's not in the same place where it is on Debian 9.9. Alexei says, did my comment not go through? Alexei, your last comment that I can see looks like the screen is frozen. That's the last one I see. And in between, I see Dell Anderson, like 7 or so messages, a couple of messages from Mark, and one message from Vladimir between the two of yours, Alexei. So common locations for shared libraries in Linux systems are lib, lib32, lib64, userlib, user local lib. So glibs is, I would say, not here. Should be here if it is in a common place, right? Dem YouTube, look for file libs and dot and so suffix and version. Oh, you mean with YouTube probably thought file name is a link or something. Let me see if I can change anything on your username. I can't change anything for your username to make you allowed to post links or something like that. Anyways, so let's. What do you want me to do? To use search? I thought that there is a better way to do it, right? Find. I'm trying to guess how it went. Find recursively in like libs. So like, I don't know, whatever, like this maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it goes like this. ld config, okay. Okay, I don't have glibs, I suppose. Alain says Red Hat Linux is not free. Am I missing something? Well, primarily you're missing the point of this live stream, but basically no, it's not free. Oh, libs, sorry. What was, maybe I read it wrongly. What are we supposed to find? The searching for dependencies, where did we go? Where was exploration or exercises? Okay, the exercise was use object dump to print dependencies of glibs. So we would need a path to glibs file, right? In order to do that. And how would we go about to do that? If I had done some more programming, I would probably know this by now. Give it to me on matrix. Oh, okay. Try to paste the file now in YouTube chat. Let's see if that works. Can you try pasting now? I didn't get... Okay, now it works. Good. Okay. Okay, so we are continuing with the lesson, but I still did not quite learn how did we... This is what troubles me. Use object dump and grep to print the dependencies of glibs. So how did we decide that we will give a libc file to object dump and not glibs? What is the difference between libc and glibs? Quick search on the internet says that glibs and libc is the same thing. Okay, so that was my that was what confused me. Yeah, okay. Glibc is GNU, libc its project name, library name is libc. Okay. I guess I could have used pacman to print file list of glibc package. I actually... Well, let's not do the pacman thing right now. Not that important for the stream because everyone uses a different distribution, but okay, using the package manager to see the libc package and its contents, where the files went, it's a good band-aid. So let's check one more time. The question was print dependencies of glibs. Okay, so what are dependencies here? one more time. Firstly, file format, program header. Let's keep this dynamic section needed. Would this be a dependency? Or these? I mean, it is telling us to print dependencies of glibs, right? So it should be deleted. So basically, oh crap, grep. Okay. Well, I suppose I could have typed it fully, so I don't end up with these. Okay, we are somewhat getting somewhere. I use object dump to print the soname of glibs. Okay, so that part is a bit easier now. It was, okay, it's just called soname, right? So soname is that. So grep soname, which would be this, and then use object dump to print dependencies of bash. Dependencies. Use object dump to print dependencies of bash. Can I use object dump on bash? So user bin bash. I'm not sure if this will work because I'm doing it on a binary and not on a, I mean on an executable and not on a library. But let's give it a try. User bin bash and see what happens. Oh, it actually works. Okay, so I see. So bash needs lib readline soname and libs soname. Good. Both libraries and executables use ELF format. Okay, thank you. Let's see what else do they want from us. Okay, now we are at summary. In this lesson, you have learned what a shared library is, the differences between shared and static libraries, the names of shared libraries, the preferred locations for shared libraries in a Linux system such as lib and userlib, the purpose of dynamic linker, how to configure shared library paths by means of files in the etc folder, how to configure shared library paths by means of the LD library path environment, how to look up for executable and shared library dependencies. Commands used in this lesson, ls, cat, sudo, okay. Was there something? Answers, okay. So what I said in the beginning, that this like a table seemed too simple, you know, just copy paste stuff like so, put it here, put one here, and basically that's exactly what I wanted to do, because, you know, it's a bit silly, but okay. You have developed a piece of software. So what you guys answered in chat is this. What command? ld config. Okay, so it doesn't say sudo, but it does need it. ldd bin kill. Good. Answer to explorational exercises, right? So object dump. Okay, so in their case of Debian 9, the libs is located here, but the point was to grep the line which contains the word needed, and then grepping the soname, and once again grepping needed, right? So that is perfectly fine. Okay, and now we go to Debian Package Management. So before we go to Debian Package Manager, I just want to show you something. So where was user libs so6? Let me just check it one more time. Yeah, that one is executable. So I believe I have executed this one at one point, and it told me something like what is the minimum kernel version which it works with. I'm not sure if it was libt, but I think it was. Yeah, so this just a funny thing, right? So it's kind of a library, right? But you can actually execute it, and it will tell you some things like what is the minimum supported kernel for this library to exist. Iceblade is wondering if we are done already. Basically, yes, Iceblade, but it was an easy lesson, which turned out to be the most horrific one so far, because I have had the most technical issues ever. Vladimir says, in real life, when building random software, it's not that simple. It can be real pita. Yeah, I know what that means, but I'm not going to speak it. To link stuff properly. Yeah, I suppose Vladimir is right, but I don't have that much experience with programming. Hopefully, I'm gonna get there at some point. So Dell says DLL hell Linux style. Well, by not being a programmer, throughout my entire life, the most that I have worried about dynamic libraries was in the previous ages, like 10 plus years ago, 15 years ago, when distributions were not built as good as they are today, right? Today, I barely even remember using LDD command because everything is handed over to me on a silver platter, right? Everything on Linux today just works. But back in the day, there was a lot of downloading from the internet and compiling. And even if you're not compiling, you would be missing some libraries if you would fetch something as a binary, and then you would need to see which library is missing. So you would install it usually with a package manager. But I'm just saying from my experience, right? The more the time goes by, the less I have the need to understand how Linux works. So this is actually good from the perspective of Linux in general, right? I'm not talking about a specific distribution, but the general notion, this whole operating system as a collective of every distribution, they are getting so good that the average user really doesn't have a contact point with not any pain, but the pain amount is so low today. It's the lowest that has ever been, right? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying anything anything out of the ordinary, right? I'm just noticing how good our operating systems, and by that I mean distributions of Linux, have become since ages ago, right? So the reasons why I forget these things is because I don't use them, right? And it is an easy lesson for sure, but it did took me a while to restore a little bit of very old memories. Okay, let me know. You do build a lot of software for fun. Okay, I understand that. Guys, let me know, what are we going to do now? We have a couple of options. We are merely an hour, not even an hour into a lesson, and we're already finished. So we can talk about snaps and Flatpaks a little bit if you want. And in order to talk about snaps and Flatpaks, we can choose to continue the stream and have this lag, or I can kill the stream, reduce the lag, which is a setting on YouTube, and then start the stream again, so we can talk real time, right? Or do you want me to continue with Debian package management as the next lesson? But if you choose that we would go with Debian package management, in that case, I'm going to definitely kill the stream so that it is a separate video file on my channel. And then I'm going to restart the stream with a lower lag, and we can continue with the next lesson, which is harder, but generally it shouldn't be that hard. Iceblade says been like 80 minutes to finish it. Also, how long is the next one? Iceblade, actually we haven't been at it for 80 minutes. We have been at this lesson for 55 minutes because I have had technical problems for the first 25 minutes. So we started at 7:25. Dale says we could also practice more object dump for dummies or go forward with Debian to stay on topic. Alexei says, I don't think we should continue with Debian. It will probably be a long one. Okay, guys, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end the stream here, and I'm going to start the stream again in a minute, literally, and fix the lag. And the new stream will be titled Just Chatting about Linux, and then we can talk whatever you want. Is that okay with all of you in chat? Alexei, the being outdated thing shouldn't matter. I mean, it matters definitely for the knowledge, but for the exam, it might not matter that much. Everyone is saying okay and sure. Okay. In that case, Vladimir agrees with me. Yeah, it's a question on exam, so I think it will be a valid lesson, because Debian package manager being outdated or not, it hasn't changed that much. Okay, give me a minute or two, and then go to the homepage of my channel and go to the live tab in a minute or two, and press refresh, and you will see a completely new stream appearing. It will be on a different link. Alexei, we'll continue talking about this when I start a new stream, right? So everyone who is in chat right now and want to stay in chat on a stream, go to my live tab and refresh my live tab of my channel in 1 minute, and see you there.